Feedback. All right.
All right. Was It's 117 degrees in Las Vegas. Just thought y'all should know that. It's hot. Hot. Hot like a motherfucker. Testing, testing. What's going on? Let me get rid of some of these other sounds I got going on. What's good, y'all? Who's in here? So, new rules. A few things actually. A few things I want to say. Okay. Move this over here. Still setting this up. If you are in here, leave a comment, hit the like button if you haven't already. So, I'm gonna say this, man. I shoot the link out to a lot of people. I just started a group chat on Facebook for those who are telling me that they don't get YouTube notifications. So if you want the notifications, you want them to come from that group, don't leave the group. Don't leave the chat. I don't know how many people I got in here. What's going on? Outspoken, what's going on? Everybody hit that like button. All right. We only need 500 subs to become official here. I want to feel like we making progress. I want to feel like we making progress, or I'm going to do something else. Real talk. I'm going to do something else. What's good, people? Want to talk about a few things. Brandon Tatum is definitely on the list. You see his name in the title. But it's bigger than him. I'm using his name because it's relevant. But it's bigger than him. It's bigger than him. It's about us. And with us, I do mean black men. It's a trend that I'm seeing lately. It's very disturbing. What's going on, people? How many people is up in here, man? I can't even tell. Let me close this here. I don't need this screen no more. Yeah. Hall of Fame, I appreciate you. Got a couple faceless YouTubes already. No, I'm not telling nobody what they are. That's why they're faceless. What's going on, Nightfall? What's going on? That's the purpose of a faceless YouTube. So you don't know it's me. What's good? What's good? What's good? Hot up in here, man. You know what I mean? I got my AC blowing real hard. Pause. Okay. Pause. It's not helping though. I should have turned my thermostat lower to blow some cooler air up in here. Said Hall of Fame said the only two dudes I ever got to subscribe were retired Manosphere guys who haven't made content in ages. Let me tell you, Manosphere guys are not gonna support what I do. You know, I don't really want to say that word too much here. Because I'm trying not to fall into that algorithm. I'm gonna tell you, if this page, if this channel falls into that algorithm, I'm gonna shut it down and start another one. Okay. So let's be careful. Um yeah, I don't want to be involved in none of that shit no more. Bullshit. You know, it's bullshit. Nonsense. We know all the stories. And some of the things that I'm gonna speak on today is relevant to that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of disturbing shit, especially with us going on. If you haven't clicked the like button, do it now. I don't. It's crazy. I don't see how many people. It's not telling me how many people in this motherfucker. How I don't see how many people in here. Shout out to Hall of Fame. Shout out to Adric. Will, what's going on? What's going on today, man? It's Sunday. What's on TV, man? Trying to see what I'm up against. Put up a 48-hour subscriber requirement to speak in the chat. You know what I mean? I don't want random motherfuckers, people jumping up out the woodwork type of troll shit. Back in the day, I was on the go back and forth troll shit. I'm retired with the trolls. You just get your head sliced off and blocked from this motherfucker. For those who are wondering, I'm gonna just say this, right? And this is pertaining to old shit, right? I'm just gonna say this, right? I'm gonna just say it. So the Green Gorilla's back. I know y'all saw the video. The Green Gorilla's back. Made a video, pretty academic in nature. It's a pre-recorded. I don't think it was a live stream. I don't think it was a live stream. It doesn't look like a live stream, right? A lot of y'all sent me the link because for some reason y'all felt that I should see it. And it's a good video. I like the video. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I saw a decent amount of it. I'm not mad at what he's doing. For those that are wondering, no, shit ain't gonna change. It's still gonna be the same. I don't fuck with nothing over there. But it's a good video. You should check it out. That's the lane that my man should play. Before all the drama, I told homie, I said, yo, we need to move in another direction. This is me moving in my direction. He's choosing to move in his direction on his same channel. And I hope it works out what he's doing. That's how I feel. I hope it works out. You know what I mean? Aside from that, shit is what it is. Shit ain't changed. I'm still where I am and I'm still at that same place mentally. It is what it is. Again, that's the past. This is the future. But yeah, I seen the video before I get a million motherfuckers hitting me up asking me about it. That's what it is. How many of you watch Raising Canaan? Shout out to Dre. He's been asking me about this. Raising Canaan. I don't know how many of you watch it. It's the Power spinoff, with showing Kanan, aka 50 Cent's backstory. Yeah, Raising Canaan is probably the best spinoff of the whole Power shit. So before we get into what I'm calling the culture of stupid, I wanna touch on this for a second, right? Hold on, let me pull this shit up. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, now I see I was on the wrong tab. Now I see what's going on here. Now I see everything, right? So let me there's not very often, right, that you get to watch some of these street series, these dramas. You watch The Wire, right? You watch The Wire, and a lot of that didn't end the way we wanted it. A lot of the people who we thought should have got it didn't get it, right? Like, we wish Omar could have made it. We wish Marlo could have got his, and shit like that. Or That's not what we're going through today. Today, I don't know who wrote this into the shit, but I was totally satisfied with how this shit played out. Okay. All right. I'm going to do this real quick because I don't want to get hit with a copyright. My shit ain't monetized, so hopefully it doesn't matter. But if you're a fan of Raising Canaan, you're going to love what I'm about to play. It's probably in my top 5 favorite scenes in the whole series. I'm so happy to see this. I'm so happy to see this. As soon as I pop it up on the screen, you're going to know where I'm going with it. Okay? All right? Let's watch this together. Here we go. Y'all already know what it is. Woo! Woo! I've been waiting for this shit a long fucking time. I've been waiting for this shit a long fucking time, boy. And I'm like, hey, don't fuck this up for me. Please, don't fuck this moment up for me. Please, please, don't fuck this moment up for me.
You kill famous. Canis.
Got him in the park, secluded, nobody there. I'm like, yo, it's going down. It's going down, baby. Ain't nobody gonna see this. Ain't nobody gonna see this. It's low key. It's secluded. Ain't nobody there. Ain't no way this could go the way we don't want it to. Let's continue.
This shit again.
We didn't kill that boy, sweetheart. We don't even know him.
Police told me you dropped him.
They lied.
See, that's where he fucked up at. You see it. You see it. Snaps, you shouldn't have did that. Girl got a gun on you. She got the drop on you. Like, police told me you dropped him. He's like, I can't compete with this. You got your word from the cops. I can't compete with this. So, but I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try my best, though. Not fast enough. Not fast enough, nigga. Let's go back. Let's do this again. You see her face? You see her face? See her face like, uh-oh. We in trouble. We in trouble.
They lying to you, girl.
Woo! Nigga. Oh, I ain't finished yet, motherfucker. Jukebox, nigga! Yeah! Woo! I waited all series to see this shit. I waited all season to see that shit. Get the fuck out of here. Hey, let's do that shit again. Hold on. We ain't done yet. Let's do that shit again. I love it. I love it. Let's bring it back. Whoa. One more time.
They lying to you, girl.
One more time. Woo! Shit. Jukebox my hero now, man. This shit raising Jukebox. Fuck Kanan. Yeah, nigga. Pop they ass. Yeah, nigga. Oh, man, that felt good. That felt good than a motherfucker. That was better than watching Kanan get his ass beat. That was what. Hey, you know what? Shit. Remember that scene in Power with Tariq was asleep and Ghost ran up on him with the heat? Oh man. That's on the list. That's on my top 5. That's on my top 5. But this beat that shit, baby. This beats that shit. Oh, them niggas was so foul. They was so foul. Oh my God. You know who I thought was gonna get him? I thought it was gonna be Breeze. I thought Breeze was gonna get him. That's who I thought was gonna get him. Yeah, she got to them before Breeze. That's the same thing I was thinking. I thought Breeze was gonna get him. I thought it was gonna be Breeze. I thought Breeze was gonna get them out of there. Cause they was in the motherfucking way. But when she found out that it was them, or I thought Kanan would find out that they killed this girl. And that's what I thought would happen. I thought that he would have got them for killing this girl. That ain't happened. He found out. She told him. That's fucked up. She told him, yo, they killed your man. He approached him about it. We ain't do it. Okay. All right. He believed him. He believed him. He believed him. You know why? Because he wanted to do business. Kanan ain't want to fuck up the money. But she don't give a fuck about that shit. To me, Jukebox is Tommy in this series. She's the one that, straight up, real shit, no backstab. Now, you can understand why she was the way she was in the original series. Now we get it. Totally understand now. I mean, that nigga was fucked up. Them niggas, to be honest, if you think about it, right? Anybody who watches Power, if you think about it, right? We started off this story, this universe with Ghost. If you think about it, Ghost is, in retrospect, in the grand scheme of things, he's a villain. Ghost is a villain. In the grand scheme of things, Ghost is a villain. We've been rooting for the villains. We started off with the villains. It is what it is. This is who they introduce us to. We rooting for the bad guy. It's all good, though. But, now we understand Jukebox. Now, I don't want to ruin nothing for y'all. I'm figuring everybody who watches Raising Kanan has seen this episode already. So y'all seen what Kanan did with his uncle. Now, from what I understood, I thought Kanan was supposed to go after his mom's, but for some reason he's swapped for his uncle. I don't remember them making that decision or determination between him and Breeze. Let me ask y'all, show of ones and zeros. How y'all feel about Shameik Moore playing Breeze? 1 thumbs up, 0 thumbs down. Matter of fact, let me take a poll. Got 8 people up in here, 17 likes. How y'all feel about Breeze being played by Shameik Moore? How y'all think he's doing? How y'all think he's doing? Talk to me. Yeah, Raising Kanan is definitely the better of all the spinoffs, of all of them. Of all of them. It's the only one that we really getting to see flesh out. Now, outside of Raising Kanan, would you say who Force? You got Force, and you have the book 2 or whatever that shit is. Power book 2. Which one of those you prefer? Power book 2 or, Power book 2 or Force? Which one you like? Force being Tommy's spinoff in Chicago, and then you have Tariq show. So which one you like better, the Tariq or the Tommy shit? Talk to me. At any rate, I don't know if you guys been keeping up with what's going on. Shout out, by the way, shout out to AM1. I was on AM1's podcast the other day. Can you hear me? Somebody said audio. Can you hear me? Somebody said audio. Am I coming through? Let me know if I'm coming through. I want to make sure I don't start talking and y'all can't hear me. It was on AM1's channel. We spoke on the Tuskegee situation. The Tuskegee situation where they banned the bonnets and the do-rags. Banned the bonnets and the do-rags. Okay. Now, I think pretty much my position was clear on there. I don't know how many of you guys saw me and A11's conversation. And shout out to him. We pretty much, I think New was there. Nulu, you was there. Me and AM1, we pretty much agree on the Tuskegee dress code and things of that nature. But his position, basically what he brought forth was he was speaking on why is this black culture? And I agree with him. Bonnets and do-rags on the street is not quote unquote black culture. Right? It's not quote unquote black culture. Bonnets and do-rags, they perform a function. People use them typically when they use this directed, they're used to keep your hair while you sleep. That's what they're for. They are to keep your hair together while you're asleep. If you got waves or something like that, you put on a do-rag so your hair ain't getting fucked up against the pillow. Bonnets, same thing. Girls wear bonnets so that their hair doesn't get twisted and tangled while they sleep. Right? So nightfall, let me explain. Because you said it's not black culture to wear them outside. It's practiced by some black people, but it's not black culture. Right? It's not a tradition. It's not something that like we're doing because this is what we do. Like it's a byproduct of black culture. I said this to AM1. I said do-rags and bonnets. Everybody doesn't wear do-rags and bonnets, but 9 times out of 10, do-rags and bonnets will be worn by someone black. That's who's going to be wearing them. Black people. You're not really going to see too much of like white people wearing do-rags. You're not going to see it. And if they're wearing it, maybe it's to be funny or some shit like that. I compare wearing do-rags and bonnets out in public to white people wearing hair rollers. White women use hair rollers to make their hair curly. Okay? That's what it's for, but it's something that you wear behind closed doors. It's something that you use to prepare your hair with so that when you come out, you can wear the style. That's what it's for. So you can wear the style. You can wear the style, right? That's what it's for. It's a device to use in your hair. I remember at one point, black girls were coming outside. They would have their shit wrapped up with the pins in it. And they would wear this as the style. No, you don't wear that as the style. That's what you do to keep your hair a certain way. What up, Dre? Okay. Wearing the cap outside, the do-rag or the bonnet It's not cultural. It's not. Do people do it? Yeah, they do. Of course they do. But in a public setting, especially formal setting, class, work, corporate, it's not culture like a burqa or some sort of religious garb. Shaka says he wears his dread cap. And that makes sense. You wear, it's a hat that you wear outside for your hair, but it's not bed clothes. It's not bed clothes. Typically, you put a do-rag or a bonnet on before you lay down and you go to bed with it. You see people outside with it. That doesn't mean that that's what they're supposed to be doing. Okay, so Nightfall says, the reason I say that it is because of the crown acts of the South, Louisiana, and shower caps during the Jerry curl era. No, bro. You wear a shower cap over your Jerry curls so that your shit don't dry up against your pillow. But you take your shit off and wear your Jerry curls outside. No disrespect. We're not going to agree on that. That's not. This stuff was never meant to be worn outside. Right. Shower cap. Not street cap. Not mailroom cap, not office cap, not church cap. These are items you use in the house. You don't walk down the street brushing your teeth. Right? You don't wear your underwear over your clothes. And what's happening is these people, because they do that, right? And these are black devices that we use. They're calling this cultural. That is not a function of the culture. It's not. No, it's not. Right? Other groups of people have their devices that they use and they leave them home. If you go to the trailer park, you might see a woman outside, hair and rollers, with her bonnet or, rag on, handkerchief, whatever, bandana, smoking a cigarette with a robe on, standing outside her trailer because maybe she just got out of bed. Maybe she want to take a smoke. She want to go outside, take a smoke. What is that, white culture? No, that's not what that is. What we're allowing, to some extent, is we're allowing low-class shit to be defined as black culture. And my problem is there are different classes of black people. See, there's the understanding that in every other race, every other demographic, there are classes. And we understand that this class is prone to do some shit, and this class understands that's not appropriate. It's not appropriate to go to school, go to class with a bonnet on. It's not appropriate to go to school and go to class sagging your jeans under your ass. Niggas do it. It doesn't mean it's black culture. That's some hood shit. That's some jail shit, actually. That's where that comes from. The sagging shit. It comes from jail. Okay. Do-rags, again, you go to the beauty store and you put that shit over your waves. The waves are black culture. It's a hairstyle worn by black men. You don't see other groups of people with this hairstyle, not like that. Now, at some point, and shout out to AM1. At some point, me and AM1's discussion leaked over into hairstyles, where he made, I guess, dreads or braids into one of these things, like, you know, low class, low this, low that. And I'm like, nah. It's a different thing. It's a different thing. Dreads and braids are culturally black hairstyles. They've been around forever. They're not new. Now, these hairstyles are not friendly to corporate. They're not friendly to certain spaces, because especially white spaces. There's this idea that dreadlocks or locks, locked hair, matted hair, is some current phenomenon started by drill rappers, street dudes, and shit like that. That couldn't be further from the truth. New, you're in here. You're gonna have to educate your boy. It's my boy. I try to educate him. You're gonna have to talk to him about the history of locks. Okay. Let me say something else about locks. There's this idea that Jamaicans invented locks, and that's also incorrect. Jamaicans did not invent locks. Jamaicans did not invent locks. Now, they created the term dread lock, or at least that's where that comes from. I don't know if they created it or someone created it to describe what the Jamaicans were doing. Right? But locks is not a Jamaican invention. You got kings in Africa that had their hair locked. Okay? So just for perspective, right? Just to give you some information, right? And anything that I say can be researched, looked up, all of that shit. Okay? If you are aware of what Rastafari or Rastafarianism is. I'm from New York, surrounded by this shit. A lot of y'all guys are not from a place where you have a lot of Caribbean folk around you. So let me break something down for you right quick. If you didn't know this, you about to learn, right? Rastafari is the name of a person. New, you probably already know this. Shaka probably already knows what I'm about to say. Tafari McKinnon is the name of a man. This refers to a person. Okay? Tafari McKinnon, Ras Tafari. That's a name. Okay? Haile Selassie the first, Ethiopia, which last time I checked is in Africa. This is an African guy. Rastafari is not Jamaican. He's African. So that's what that belief is based on. Has his roots with Marcus Garvey. And that's who they follow. Some people say It's not a religion, it's a belief. I'm sorry, Shock, don't get mad at me. The reason I call Rastafari a religion is because they speak of Haile Selassie as if he's a divine figure. That's what it sounds like with some of these guys say. Right? But Rastafari is African. He's from Ethiopia. He's exiled from Ethiopia. I know the whole history. I researched this years ago because I wanted to know, where did this come from? Okay. So Jamaicans did not invent dreadlocks. I said all that to say that. Drill rappers did not invent dreadlocks. Atlanta rappers did not invent dreadlocks. Dreadlocks didn't start. No, I got you, Shock. Dreadlocks didn't start with this generation. Chief Keef and them didn't start some dreadlock movement. Dreadlocks is KRS-One. Dreadlocks is DOS Effects. Dude's been dreaded forever. If you're from a place where nobody had dreads, just understand that wherever you're from, where you never seen dreads around your place or in your city or town, where I'm from, dreads have always been a thing. Yes, Busta Rhymes, Dink O.D., Charlie Brown. This is the 90s. Braids, same thing. Braids is crisscross. Braids is naughty by nature. I can go on forever. There's this idea that these hairstyles are somehow connected to gangs, criminal activities, shit like that. If anyone wants to debate with me the connection between hairstyles and criminality, show me the stats, the studies that prove this. That or show me the etymology or the origin of these hairstyles and criminality. Now, Nightfall, you said mural and face tattoos. That's a different thing. Now, we could talk about the origins of those things, but you know, we know what certain tattoos and shit like that. Yes, Melly Mel, thank you, Outspoken. Melly Mel and Flash. Flash had cornrows, and I almost left that out. The Furious Five had cornrows. Flash had cornrows under that Kango. So the correlation causation thing, right? The problem was, you know, I think where we got lost, I think one of the points that was being made was people from the hood tend to have these hairstyles, and people that are upwardly mobile in class, and I'm talking about amongst black people, tend to not. And what I say is, well, people who are upwardly mobile tend to occupy spaces where these hairstyles might not blend in. And that was a while back. Because nowadays, you could pretty much work anywhere and have braids or dreads or whatever the case may be. The police got dreads now. And I think that for some people, they see dreads and braids and they might think this is a result of the current hip hop and this and that. No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. The reason why you couldn't rock this hair in certain spaces is definitely because of white corporate rules and standards. Standards addressed in corporate spaces. You go to the hood, niggas ain't working in corporate. They don't give a fuck about corporate rules and standards. They're going to wear their hair the way they want. Oh, you said the new NYPD commissioner got dreads? Oh, wow. That's crazy. That's interesting. Shit is relaxed now. So if you view hair like that as somehow ghetto or low class or criminal, you might want to do some introspection. No disrespect to nobody. I'm not talking AM. This ain't no AM1 diss. I'm speaking in general. I'm saying you might want to do some introspection. What we do is we do too much you know, how can I say, profiling. There's a lot of internalized racism when it comes to black men. And this is going right into the topic that we're going to be discussing with Brandon Tatum. There's a lot of internalized racism, a lot of anti-black shit going on with black men. Anything inherently cultural, black, this, and that, and the other, somehow is criminal, hood, ghetto, etc. That's a problem. That's a problem. Now, sometimes does it get ridiculous? Absolutely. You know, sometimes shit could get crazy. You know, some of the names that we give our children are ridiculous. They're not historically anything. They're just some bullshit. Sometimes you see women walking around with the wildest hairstyles. They rooster comb they shit like the shit be crazy. Sometimes it's crazy. When we look at other cultures, right? Every other culture gets to be them. They get to be unique. They get to express their shit. They get to wear turbans, and it's like niggas want to be everything but black. This ain't me going to be like, oh, you guys want to be everything but African. No, fuck African. Niggas want to be everything but black. I'm speaking from a black American perspective. Because there's things that make us uniquely us. Let's not get away from those things. And I'm talking about the positive, not the negative. It's not all negative. When I'm hearing people speak out against these things, what I hear is assimilate. Nightfall, I'm with you. You said I'm cool on hairstyles as long as they're neat and clean. My issue is the mindset that comes with wearing bonnets and do-rags outside. Yeah. There's things that are black, and then there's shit that's inappropriate. And people are calling this, you know, with the bonnets and the do-rags, that rule, they're calling that respectability. Me personally, I think to throw certain hairstyles under the bus is respectability. As far as do-rags and bonnets, no, I think that is, you know, class standards. I don't think that there has to be a white man present for black people to want to put their best look forward. I don't think that the only time black people should want to be neat, look respectable, etc., is when white people are looking. I think there's more to it than that. And that's what people feel. Oh, you just worried about what the white man go. No, how about this? How about this? In a room where there ain't nothing but black people, dress up, look neat and clean for the other black people. How about this? Check this out. How many of you have ever dealt with a female, right? And when she's around you, she got the rag on, face is all crusty. She got the grandma panties and shit around you. But then when it's time to go to the LL Cool J concert or the Breezy concert, She transformed into an Instagram model. But around you, she ain't got no lotion on. She ashy, hair all fucked up, this and that. But when it's time to go be around some people, you don't recognize her. Take note of this. What this means is you ain't nobody. You ain't nobody. Women, if you're in here, same rules apply to whatever dude you're dealing with. If he only clean up for people outside, you ain't nobody. Back in the day, I was dealing with this Jamaican chick. This is my early 20s. Every time I came through, this chick looked like she was going to the club. She had her makeup on. She dressed nice, tight shit, whatever. Every time I came through. And I used to work with her. So I know what she looked like going to work. When she would invite me over, I would get there and she would look like she was going out. I mean, this chick dressed up for a nigga. She in her house. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. I'm going to come through and I'm going to tear her ass up. But she would get fly before I got there. And I never seen her like raw. I never seen her like that. You know how you got a shorty coming over? Your crib could have been fucked up all week. Oh, shit. You got a girl coming over. You clean up like you ain't never cleaned up before. Because you're trying to impress. You don't want her to see you looking crazy. Because you care about how she sees you. I say that to say, if you don't give a fuck how you look when ain't nothing but niggas around, and then you only put your best foot forward around them other people, the issue's you. Now, you got people who they never dress up for nobody. They inappropriate anywhere. You can't take them nowhere. They in the hood, they look like they in the hood. They at the banquet, the buffet, the ball, they look like they in the hood. You can't take them nowhere. Now, how about this? These people are low class. I respect them, though. At least they not putting on a show. They don't give a fuck who. That's who they are, I guess. And that's cool, that's who they are, but you can't take them nowhere. Now, of course, let's be reasonable. If you're at your house, you're relaxing, you chilling, look how you want. Look how you want. Understandable. It makes sense. You ain't got to be on level 10 all day, every day. Right? If you got a job, you got to dress up for that shit. That's cool. I got to get money. I get it. But this idea that we're starting to look at certain things that are naturally us, right? As these things are negative, and we only get that from outside the group. That doesn't come from inside the group. That comes from outside. Absolutely. That comes from outside. You got people that disagree with me, but that is what it is, right? No disrespect to nobody. Have your opinion. But I just think that these things are problematic. We have internalized other people's views of the things we do. There's nothing wrong if you see a Mexican wearing a sombrero. If you see an Asian person rocking a Japanese person or rocking a kimono, Chinese person wearing anything related to their culture, all these other things that come from all these other places, it's cool for them to do what they do. But anything inherently black, inherently, black American, anything that we've created is inherently bad. I want to say something else. There's also the idea that like all of these things are being pushed on us. We create the culture. Ain't shit cool unless we do it. There's nobody creating this stuff and then putting us out there to do this stuff. They don't know what it is until we do it. We create this shit from nothing. This is our shit. The crazy thing is like you go to Atlanta. I remember reading the Young Thug indictment and I seen all those names on there. Quavius and Latavius Stevens and shit like that. While I think those names are ridiculous, while I think it's probably the worst thing you could put on a job application is a name like that because you try to get a job or whatever the case may be, right? There has to be something like that we keep that is unique to us. I think my sound went out for a second. There has to be something that we have that makes that is unique to us. You know what I'm saying? So Nightfall says, let me see. I only slightly disagree. Reason being, back in the days, most black folks would dress to impress, just going to the grocery store. That wasn't for whites. That was entirely for us. Now, no, you still have those people. We have our way of dressing. Look, you got dudes. Y'all remember Paid in Full, Rich Porter or Mitch Porter or Mitch, whatever his name was in the movie. What's good, Born? I see you, Ferg. What's good? You got dudes that don't go outside. Like they brush their sneakers with the toothbrush. They won't go outside with dirty shoelaces. They won't go outside without their chain on. Now, you still got people like this. And these are people who never leave the hood. I'm not talking about them. I'm saying you're going to have a select group of people that are going to wear a bonnet and a do-rag outside. The guys who I'm talking about, these fly guys, you're not going to see them do that. You're not going to see them do that. Yo, listen, some of you will keep sneakers, like white on white sneakers. What's up, Rev? Revelator in the building. Some of you guys, and I don't know how you do it. You got to tell me how you do it. Some of you guys will keep a pair of Air Force Ones for years and they will look brand new. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do it, but you do it. You know the funny thing about all this, right? No matter what a dude is doing otherwise, the footwear will be immaculate. The footwear be immaculate. Again, I don't know how you guys do this shit, but the footwear be immaculate. If I wear sneakers enough after a few weeks, them shits will get torn down. I gotta get some new shit. I don't care. Look, y'all go through the mall, y'all go to that pop-up and get the suede brush and all this other stuff. Yeah. So Hall of Fame says he rotated sneakers. I get it. Yeah, I've heard that before. But shit, what you got? 365 pairs, motherfucker? Like you wear them once a year? I could stretch out the life of some footwear, but eventually, you know, I'm going to bend the crease in the insole. It's going to happen. Y'all motherfuckers probably put socks in your insole, or you put the sock half on and you roll it back over the top of your foot type shit so that the shit don't bend. And the point of me saying this is it's a good amount of guys who put effort to make sure when they step out in public that they look a certain way. That's not just back in the days, that's now. The funny thing is, bro, back in the days, they was hanging niggas in suits. When it comes to looking good for your people, that's one thing. The other thing is, racism doesn't care how you dress. Geronimo was good. Racism doesn't care how you dress. So this, we look in a certain way, we're opening the door for oppression argument is crazy. Racism don't care how you dress. Racism don't care about how you speak. Racism don't care how educated you are. Racism don't care about your money. Nigger pies. They don't care about none of this. If they don't like you, they don't like you. It don't matter. Suit, tie, dreads, shortcut, bald head. Dreads being a criminal hairstyle is crazy. Criminals have had all types of hairstyles. Thug niggas done rock dreads. Thug niggas rock waves. Preem had waves. Ran the Supreme team in Queens for years. Waves. Onyx had the ball heads. They were singing, throw your guns in the air and wave them like you just don't care. You gotta be a crazy motherfucker. My man said, throw your guns in the air and wave them like you just don't care. Wave your guns in the air like you just don't care. These niggas were bald-headed. There's no hairstyle connected to criminality. Hairstyle? I'll give you another one. The biggest thugs, gangsters, wore suits, tailored shit. Gangsters wore tailored suits. Yeah. Neat. Neat as shit. Neat hair, neat suit, neat everything. So let's get right into it. We have reached a fever pitch in America. Cooning is at an all-time high. An all-time high. And it's not the idea with cooning. People look at cooning like y'all just doing this to impress white people. Y'all trying to get a white audience, or y'all trying to be in proximity to whiteness, et cetera, et cetera. That is the general idea. When we see somebody cooning, this is the conclusion we reached, is that they're performing for white people. I think we can all agree and all say that we've seen niggas cooning with no white people around. The same way how we say, yo, dress up for niggas. What I'm seeing is a trend. Nigga circles. No white man around. No white man present. No white man in earshot. No white man with direct line of sight. Cooning going on. What's behind this cooning? It's a lot of cooning. A lot of buck dancing, shit like that. Ain't no white people. You're doing it for a black audience. When did it become cool to coon for other black people? When did this start? Hearing music in my headphones. This shit's picking up something. When did it become cool? Right? This video ain't gonna get a lot of views. I already know. But when did we start this? Am I the only one that's peeping this shit? We got a lot of black dudes in black circles, black spaces. You know which space I'm talking about, in there and other places. That are really anti-black. Really anti-black man. Every time something happens, these guys take the side against black men. No matter what the situation is, they take the side against black men. And these guys have an audience, which is also black. How did we get here? I have my own suspicions, right? And we ain't going to be here all night. I ain't going to flesh this out tonight. But, you know, your Brandon Tatums and things like that, right? Those guys are definitely performing for an audience. The thing about Brandon Tatum that's interesting is a lot of black men consume his content and agree with his talking points. This is disturbing to me. No matter what black men are going through in the media, no matter how many black victims we see, victims of America, these guys function on the opposite sides of the argument. I don't care if you talk about Cyrus Belton, Carmelo Anthony, Nolan Wells, and others. I don't know if this is like the new thing to do on the internet to get views. I would like to think that these guys are performing for some reason, getting money, rage baiting, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, Trayvon also, especially now. And by the time I see some of these guys, I understand why they do it. The funny thing is, you got guys who pretend to be pro-black men. It's to the point where these guys are beginning to replace Keisha in their black man hate. In my opinion, who's better to serve against black men than black men? Serving other agendas, whether it be intentional or not, they're not performing for people. They really believe this stuff, that this is how they see it. This is how they view black men. This is how they view black men. And some of your quasi pseudo pro-black nationalist dudes. I know it sounds crazy for me to say that somebody's pro-black but hating black men, but they disguise their hate for black men in their fake pro-blackness. I just want our people to do better. I'm not worried about other people. I'm only worried about black people. That's usually what people say when they make special rules and circumstances for Negroes. When you change standards, when you make separate rules for black people or black men, that is white supremacy. I don't care what you say. That is white supremacy. If you allow humanity in every other group except black people or black men, that is white supremacy. I don't care what you say. There is no huge gap in the percentage of intraracial crime between black men or black people and white people. Their intraracial numbers are about the same. If you can say Charlie Kirk was murdered under the context of, political, you want to use that heading, political. Even though the guy that they bagged up for killing him was a white guy. And it could easily fall under the heading of white on white. To avoid that, you say, is a political assassination, a political killing. So you know how to add context. JB Designs was good, bro. Kobe was good, man. I seen you earlier, Kobe. I'm just saying what's up now. I'm late. What that tells me is that you know how to add context when it's necessary. You know how to say, you know what, that's a political thing. So if you know how to add context in those situations, why is it that for every crime that occurs amongst black people, you remove the context and just use race? You say black on black. You don't say gang related. When gangbangers kill other gangbangers, the context is gang related. That is not everyday working class black people crime. That is gang related. This gang don't like this gang. They shot at each other. You can't call gang related crime black on black. It falls under a heading. And quite frankly, I'm going to say this. There is a distinct difference between some gang dude who joined the gang, is running around with guns, knowing full well what he has opted into. Tatted up, running around shooting guys because of gang affiliation, right? There's a distinct difference between that and a crazy dude running up in a movie theater shooting random people. Gangbangers have a target. And I say all the time, black crime tends to be motivated. You understand what I'm saying? Particularly motivated by certain things. White crime is random. More often than not, it's random. Black violent crime tends not to be random. It tends to be targeted and motivated. There are a few reasons that we can sit here and say why Tyrone shot Trevor. You looked at me crazy. You looked at my girl. I'm broke. I need your money. I'm red, you blue. Shit like that. Tends to be motivated and targeted. We don't run up in spots just shooting the shit up on average, right? On average. Targeted and motivated. Does that mean it's good? No. But when you talk to these guys who pretend to be concerned about black people, the standard that they have is that there should be no black crime at all. There should be no criminals that fall under the demographic of black American. And then you get to be respected as human beings. And when you point to them what the murder rate or the crime rate is elsewhere where there ain't no black people, when you point to the white gangbangers, which shouldn't really be none, right? With the median incomes of white men being this and black men being this. The first thing they'll tell you is, why you worry about the white people? You should be focused on the black people. What you telling me when you say that is the white man ice is colder. And you're making a distinct difference between black criminality and white criminality. Like it's any less violent. Or causes less damage. White men kill more police than black men. White men touch more children than black men. White on white crime is in the 80th percentile, just like ours. Some of the poorest districts in America have no black people. They lead in all the bullshit, but for some reason, if every nigga ain't wearing a suit, making six figures, with no criminal record, squeaky clean, etc., then something is genetically, inherently, intrinsically wrong with black people. And these ideas come from your pro-black nationalists and other people pretending to be moral voices for black people. I'm not excusing criminality, but black people are human. You're going to have black criminals. Now, also, Circumstances are different. We know that the government created the ghetto. When you have black people, and you got niggas that'll tell you, niggas ain't never tried to do nothing. When you have black people building prosperous towns in America right after slavery, how does this happen? I'm going to say this real quick, but I don't want to make the conversation about it. In Africa, these countries that fought for their freedom, the white man left them with infrastructure that they couldn't maintain. Niggas in America built towns in the wilderness. Under fierce opposition and prospered. Built it in the wilderness and prospered. And you got people who left infrastructure that was built by the Europeans, their colonizers, because they couldn't maintain it and they brought their asses here. Don't make the comparison. It's terrible. Don't do that. I'm not the guy you want to argue that thing with. Now, I say that to say, yeah, we did those things and we know what happened. We know what the government came and did, or the townspeople in the next town, or whatever. We know what happened. We know that history. We know that history. These are black people doing positive things. That means racism doesn't care. Yeah, we built the shit in the wilderness, yo, from nothing. Africans didn't build the infrastructures that's out there. They inherited it and they still couldn't run it. That's like the difference between somebody building a car and you give another motherfucker a car and he don't change the oil and blows out the engine. So now he got to get a ride with you and he talking shit about your car. Motherfucker, walk. How dare you? We ain't even 100 years out of Jim Crow. You still got people walking the earth, breathing and living, that were there for that in 2026. Still. That generation is still living. That generation is still alive. We ain't even that far off from it. So all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I want dudes to recognize this shit for what it is, call it out, because you got a lot of talking heads on here, not just this platform, but other platforms. And some of these guys are some of the most respected guys. What's going on, Lucy? Some of these are the most respected guys. Now, because lately, I ain't been debating women. I ain't been having to talk about women this and women that. It's about men. This ain't even that conversation no more. This is something else. That's where we are now. You know, when you got guys like a Brandon Tatum that can have a huge following of black men. When you got guys forming circles to talk about what Carmelo Anthony should have done instead of what the white boy should have done to keep his ass from getting murked. Spending more time talking about what the black kids should have did. And making up theories of why he guilty. I'm not going to say no names, but I showed dudes the Texas law. The law in writing that says that a location restricted knife is defined as a knife 5 inches or longer. And they still wanted to argue with me that Carmelo had an illegal knife. His knife wasn't 5 inches. If you're doing mental gymnastics to make the rule of law be something else than what it says right there on the texas.gov website, then you really want a nigga to be guilty. You've made up that in your mind. And I'm at the point where I feel like niggas might as well be Cynthia G. That's where we at with it, man. And I hate to say something as contrite as who hurt these niggas. I don't want to say that. I'm just trying to understand where the villain art come from. You know? Typically, this comes from being ostracized and not included. In the reindeer games. But again, I don't want to do that. It's just cliche to say who hurt you. I don't want to say that. But this stuff comes from somewhere. It's not necessarily about trying to gain proximity. I'm not saying it's not about that, but we got to examine where you got guys. And I ain't talking about guys from the continent or guys from the island. I'm talking about black Americans. Black Americans who go out of their way to form these, negative opinions about black men, black women, proper black people and black culture. And I'm talking about the functioning aspects of black culture. They trying to get away from it. And they always try to find fault with the black person in the story. I've never experienced a time such as now where we've had more anti-black men, black men. I'm not talking about no Keisha. I'm not talking about nothing else. I ain't talking about Brad. I ain't talking about nothing else. I'm talking about I'm talking about like anti-black misandrous black men. This is not my first time saying this neither on any platform. Anti-black misandrous black men. And this is why like a lot of these, spaces and things, they don't work. It's too much black male hate amongst black men. That's where we at with it. Whether you're doing it for $1, you're doing it for views and clicks, or you're doing it because of non-inclusion, whether it be from other black men or from the women or whatever. Hall of Fame, you said the only FBA folks I've heard speak against reparations were FBA males, mostly millennials. I've heard a few women speak against it. A few. But it, like, for some reason, I think that, especially now, conservatism is the new black, and everybody wants to be fashionable. The funny thing is, without saying no names, I had somebody recently call me a woke liberal. That's hilarious. I got called I got called a woke liberal. Woo, that's funny. Woo, that shit funny. Woo, that shit funny. Let me move this shit over here. That shit funny to me. I'm a woke liberal. Me. That shit hilarious. Black men need to be a little bit more nuanced. That's why I don't claim no party. Yes, black conservatism is the new grift, but there's too many of these guys preaching this stuff, and they don't even have a way to get paid for it. They're not even grifters. They just saying what it. And black conservatism rarely ever doesn't take the form of critique for black people. I never hear black conservatives talk about anything else. And I remember saying this to someone else. Black conservatism is never about anything else but talking shit about black people. I never hear black conservatives talk about any conservative politics issue, policy, or anything of that nature. They never talk about it. All they can talk about is Chicago, the murder rate, and all this other nonsense concerning black people. You never talk about anything relating to conservatism. You don't talk about no Republican policy. All you talk about is other niggas. That is black conservatism in a nutshell. That's all you talk about. And in the rare instances that I've heard guys actually talk about policy, you know what they say? Shit like, and shout out to Bernard Riley. Dudes would say shit like, well, you know, if you're a Republican and you run a business, you get to keep more of your money. Well, y'all niggas don't run businesses. You about to give me a bunch of Republican policy that don't even apply to you. But you want to vote Republican. What are you, aspirationally a businessman? I don't get it. You name all this stuff, you know, you get to have your guns and all this other stupid shit. You walk around with your gun showing to see what happened to you. It don't even apply to you. It's, to me, a lot of black conservative men are practicing conservatism to be contrarian. And I'm not saying that they should be liberal or Democrat. I'm saying that they're fake Republicans, they're fake conservatives. I have conservative views. I don't call myself a conservative because I don't want to be lumped in with these stupid motherfuckers. I don't. But a lot of it is just to be contrary. Not even just to women, just period. They think conservatism is like this sanctimonious, moralistic family values bullshit. And everywhere you look, you see conservatives caught in every manner of sexual deviancy, etc., violent, etc., this, that, and the third. It's a moral positioning. I'm better than you. I'm of better moral character. My light went out. Did my battery die? Oh, shit. Let me switch these batteries. I'm of better moral character than you. And that's what it's really about. I guess both of these batteries are dead. But yeah. Get this light over here. But that's what it's really about, y'all. Fake moral positioning. Morality shame tactic. Oh, this shit dark as hell. I have to get another light. But that's what it's really about, y'all. Better yet, you know what? Let me click this right here. Never mind. I'm gonna end this soon, so it doesn't matter. Let me come back over here. But that's what it's about, man. The conservatives have branded themselves the Christian values. They're the party of like Christianity and God and this and that. And a lot of these guys are just pretty much trying to shame everybody into doing what they're doing by telling them that they're evil and they're the devil and all this nonsense. Yeah, okay. All that slave moral bullshit. Dare I say it? Dare I say it? SBE. That's what it is. Shout out to Ty City. It's SBE. And none of that shit works. You're trying to shame people. You're trying to shame people who are able to do things that you can't do. Out of doing those things, making them feel bad because you ain't part of the party. A lot of motherfuckers that was mad at Puff was mad they wasn't invited to a party. All the no Diddy shit, the nigga was flying out bitches. The nigga was flying hoes out. Don't tell me you don't like hoes, nigga. Nigga seen a video of me with a bitch, lost their mind. Mind you, this is August. War show coming up again. I'll be back. Pookie is now defined as a nigga that get more bitches than you, got more money than you, and doing a lot of shit you can't do. That's what y'all define. A lot of niggas define as Pookie now, and their conservatism is based in shaming guys who are living life and they ain't living life. But at any rate, yeah, that's what that is. So that's where your following for Brandon Tatum and all this other stuff come from. This fake sanctimonious, we're of better moral character than you. Bullshit. That's what that is. And they think that not just conservatism, but whiteness is respect. Whiteness gets respect. Whiteness gets, is just more, high. They think white people are of high moral character than black people, or white culture is of high moral just basically more moral than black culture. But anyway, my light is out. I'm sitting in the dark, so I'm about to shut this down, man. But we're going to do this again. This won't be the last one of these. At some point, there's going to have to be a conversation. But at any rate, I'm out of here. Motherfuckers can't even see me. Peace out, y'all. Till next time. 100.